Universidad Autónoma de Querétaro y Facultad de Ingeniería. Team 7. Laboratorio de Mecánica de Sólidos II. Practice 1. Columns. The objective of this practice was to observe and analyze the mechanic behavior of a column and compare theoretical and practical resistance. Behavior theory. There are basically three types of columns. The first type is a simple column. That is a simple column of concrete. It doesn't have much resistance. The second one is a reinforced with styrops column. This column has some steel that helps the column be more resistant and more flexible. The third type is a helix reinforcement. It has also styrops, but has a helix reinforcement that gives the column a second maximum and more resistance. As we can see in this graph, there are the three types of columns. A is a simple column, doesn't have much resistance. B is a reinforced column, the resistance has increased. And the third is a helix column. As we can see, it has a second and major maximum. The steel does not only help the models have more resistance, it also helps the models to have more flexibility and be less fragile. Also, when the column is going to break, the steel helps us know, because we will see how it starts to compress. In the other case, simple column concrete will not tell us when they will break. They will just break and be very fragile. Simple concrete column. This model has a resistance of 300, has no bars, has a diameter of 20 cm and a height of 85 cm. Column with reinforcement. This column has also a resistance of 300, 4 bars of number 3, also a diameter of 20 cm and a height of 85 cm. Spiral or helix reinforcement. This column as well has a resistance of 300, 4 bars of number 3, a diameter of 20 cm and a height of 85 cm. The spiral reinforcement is made of a shorter bar with a space of 5 cm. Each model was following the norms of NTC and ACI. Now we will show you the results that we calculated. Making of the models. For making the models, we had to follow some steps. First of all, we had to make the steel treatment, so we can make the bars and all the reinforcement that would be inside each column. Then, we had to make sure that the materials were proper and were clean, because we didn't want to have organic material in our concrete. Then, we had to mix the concrete with all the materials. And finally, we poured up the concrete in each of the sonotubes. Column essay. Styros. The second column we made the simple. This column, the helix column. This column is supposed to resist 92.03 tons. So we're going to start. Okay. For this column, we calculated 80.11 tons. Our result was of 81.5 tons. The error was of 1%. Column is 20 centimeters of diameter, has 4 bars, and the spiral reinforcement. It's supposed to receive a load of 6 tons.
Pero de equipo match.
We have two maximums. The first one will be 92 tons, and the second one will be 130. For the first maximum we calculated 92 tons and the second maximum 113 tons. The maximum this column resisted was of 71.3 tons. The error was of 23%. The reinforcement with bars and spirals column. This column also has 20 mm diameter. It has a resistance of 300 kilograms over centimeter square, and it has a height of 0.85 meters. It has 4 columns and the spirals.
How will be the crack that we expect the material that is scrapped?
Also, it will advise us some cracks. So I think that's the first to show lower and For this column, we calculated a maximum of 92.03 tons. The resistance of this column was of 81.5 tons. The error was of 12%. Conclusions. Our results weren't the one we expected. In the helix column, we committed some mistakes and the pouring of the concrete wasn't correctly done. This situation affected the resistance of our column. We have to be more careful and take into consideration this situation for making the next models. This practice helped us understand better the behavior of the columns and the behavior of the concrete and steel working together. Also, we had the opportunity to compare each model and see the differences between them.